Hello, children. Welcome back to the English class. Yesterday, we had seen how the rat trap seller who used to sell rat traps and earn his livelihood reached the house of the old crofter, who was very lonely in his life, as he had no children and no wife. The old man welcomed the rat trap seller into the house and gave him porridge and tobacco to smoke. He also played cards with him. This was not all he exhibited. He also exhibited his earnings of 30 kroner to the rat trap seller. The rat trap seller was tempted to steal the money. The next day, when the crofter had left the house, the rat trap seller returned and smashed the window pane and took the money and left the place. We stopped at this yesterday. Now, today we'll start from here. That is page number 34, paragraph 3. As he walked along with the money in his pocket, he felt quite pleased with his smartness. He realized, of course, that at first he dared not continue on the public highway, but must turn off the road into the woods. During the first hours, this caused him no difficulty. Later in the day, it became worse, for it was a big and confusing forest which he had gotten into. He tried, to be sure, to walk in a definite direction, but the paths twisted back and forth so strangely, and he walked and walked without coming to the end of the wood. And finally, he realized that he had only been walking around in the same part of the forest. All at once, he recalled his thoughts about the world and the rat trap. Now his own turn had come. He had let himself be fooled by a bait and had been caught. The whole forest, with its trunks and branches, its thickets and fallen logs, closed upon him like an impenetrable prison from which he could never escape. So, as I had told you yesterday, that after taking the money, he placed the pouch back in its place and thrusted the money into his pocket and started walking away. He was very happy. He felt that he was the smartest person on this earth, like we usually do when we cheat someone and then we see that nobody has caught hold of us. Yeah? Even you do it during the exams, don't you? No, I know. My children are very good enough. They don't cheat. Yeah? So, here, this particular person, he felt that he was the smartest person on the earth. He had cheated upon an old crofter. Then he realized, as he was walking on the highway, he realized that he should not walk on the highway anymore because he might be traced by the police. So, by the side of the highway, there was a dense forest. So he thought he would get into the forest and then cross the forest and reach the other side. He entered the forest with a lot of expectations. But then later on, as he started walking in the forest, he realized that the whole forest was a bit confusing. Everything seemed very similar. The forest, the trees, the fallen logs, the thickets, that is bushes, then the branches, their leaves, everything had formed an impenetrable prison for him. What do you mean by impenetrable? That is, you cannot penetrate through it. That is, you cannot escape through it. So, it was like a prison for him. Now he realized that the philosophy that he had got in his mind, that is, the whole world being a huge rat trap, had really come true for him. So he realized that yes, today was the day that he was also caught in this worldly rat trap. And the bait for him was The 30 kroner. Yes, those 30 kroners that he had stolen from the crofter. They had been the bait, and he was attracted towards the bait, and now here he is, caught in this worldly rat trap. Now he was walking and walking. There was no end to the forest. He was trapped. There was no way out. It was late December. Darkness was already descending over the forest. This increased the danger and increased also his gloom and despair. Finally, he saw no way out and he sank down on the ground, tired to death, laid his head on the ground. He heard a sound, a hard, regular thumping. There was no doubt as to what that was. He raised himself. Those are the hammer strokes from the iron mill, he thought. There must be people nearby. He summoned all his strength, got up, and staggered in the direction of the sound. So, as he was walking through the forest, as it was late December, the night came in very fast. It had become very dark. And now, when you are in a dense forest, what happens when it becomes dark? Okay, so the danger of wild animals, it increased. And not only that, along with the darkness, it increased the gloom and despair. That is, he became very, very sad that there is no way out. He had almost decided that his end was very near. He was about to die. Die not due to wild animals, but due to a lack of food, water, and tiredness. Now he could not take even a single step forward. He was so very tired. He laid down on the ground. It was not actually lying down. He just fell onto the ground tired, as if he was about to die. Suddenly he heard some thumping noise. What do you mean by thumping noise? The noise that is made when something is hit on a hard substance. Okay, that is the thumping noise. And he realized that it was the hammer stroke. Hammer was being beaten on some iron or something like that. And that was the noise. He raised himself. He realized now that there was really some iron mill or something around. So if there is a thumping sound and if there is some iron mill around, that shows that there might be some people nearby. He summoned all his strength. That is, he summoned all his strength means he gathered all his strength and got up. And he dragged himself towards the direction of the sound. And when you have a little ray of hope of survival, that is what we see. Okay, here. That is, he had a ray of hope that now something can happen. He can get out of this forest. He will get a little rest, water, food from this darkness. He can escape. So, he gathered all his strength and started moving towards the direction of the sound. And lo, he reached Ramso Ironworks. That was the place. That was the place from where the sound was coming. And this Ramso Ironworks was once a very huge factory where the raw irons were converted into pure iron. Okay, now I want you to find out what actually raw irons mean. Can anyone just tell me? If you can tell me the chemical name or the scientific name of raw iron, we call it as pig iron. Yes, pig iron. So he had reached a place where pig irons were collected and converted into pure iron. Okay, so this was the Ramso Ironworks. The Ramso Ironworks, which was now closed down, were not so long ago a large plant with smelter, rolling mill, and forge. It in the summertime, long lines of heavy loaded barges and scows slid down the canal, which led to the large inland lake. And in winter time, the roads near the mill were black from all the coal dust which sifted down from the big charcoal crates. So now this Ramso Ironworks, now it has become a small working place for the people, but long back it was a huge plant with smelters. Smelters are those huge installations which help in the extractions of metal from its ore. As I told you, the ore for iron is known as pig iron. So from that, these people used to get the pig iron and then place it in the smelter and extract iron from it. And then there were rolling mills and forges. Forges means the huge, what do you call it? The smelter, rolling mill, and forge all together they form the iron mill. Okay, and this forges, actually the forges are a place where these metals are manufactured and they are given shapes, different shapes. Okay, so in summertime there was a canal by the side of this particular ironwork, and during summertime the raw material came or was brought into this particular ironwork through the canal, and huge boats, barges means boats, flat bottomed boats, they used to carry the raw material to the ironwork. And during the winter season, as the ice was all around, okay, so they could not use the canal also froze, so there were huge trucks that used to come to the mill through the road, and that's why there were what you can say that all around it was all black due to the dust of the charcoal, which was also a raw material for the production of the iron. So all these things were brought to the iron mill long back, but now it has become a small place where 2 or 3 people work and produce iron. So our rat trap seller has reached the Ramso Ironworks, and now he has entered the iron mill and he is waiting for the consent of the owner for a stay there for a night and take rest. Okay, today we'll stop here. Tomorrow we'll continue with the rest of the lesson. Students, please go through the portion taught till today so that tomorrow you can cope up with us. Thank you. Take care. Be safe.